Numerology, and life coaching with a fresh perspective and real discussion about what are real solutions and what are myths.
Only on Radio Zindagi on 96.7 FM, 5:40 AM, 13:10 AM, iOS, Android, Alexa, and live streamed on radiozindagi.com in Tristate.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, New Jersey. Good afternoon. जहाँ पर से भी आप ट्यून इन हो रेडियो जिंदगी के लिसनर्स, मेरा नाम है हुमा इकबाल और मेरे साथ है डॉक्टर साकेत भाटिया. Dr. Saket Bhatia has got over 25 years of experience in astrology and numerology. And her week, every Wednesday, 3 बजे से 4 बजे तक डॉक्टर साकेत भाटिया रेडियो जिंदगी के स्टूडियोज में हमारे साथ प्रेजेंट होते हैं. Now, whether if you tuned in from 96.7 FM or 5:40 AM or 13:10 AM, or from the app, you will be able to tune into this show. And also, alternatively, Radio Zindagi Tristate के Facebook page पर भी हम live है. तो जो भी आपके अगर कोई questions होते हैं या कोई सवालात हैं या कोई anything that you want to interact with Dr. Saket Bhatia, feel free for that. लेकिन इससे पहले कि हम ये करें, let me get him on air. Good afternoon, Dr. Bhatia. How are you?
Good afternoon, Hema. I'm doing well. How are you?
I am doing great. Thank you for asking.
Thank you for having me here.
Thank you so much. It's always a pleasure to have you in the studio. And Dr. Saket Bhatia is a member of IVAN, that's the Indian Association of Vedic and Astrology and Numerology. And he has maybe over 12,000 clients जिन्होंने इनसे benefit किया है इनके साथ consult करके. And 25 साल से भी ज़्यादा experience है इनका numerology में and astrology में. And this is barely the third week, and he's already a rage in the New Jersey, New York area.
Well, thank you. So the IVAN is actually the International Association of Astrology and Numerology. Our mission is to educate people, to train astrologers, to certify astrologers, to promote astrology, and to protect individuals. देखिए क्या होता है, astrology has been something that's been around for 5,000 years. There are many astrologers who claim to have certifications, degrees, experience, etc. And there is no such organization that monitors astrologers. So IVAN's purpose again is, you can go to our website, iavan.org. You can search for astrologers and you'll come to know who is a genuine astrologer who has been certified, who has the experience, the credentials. So you can make an educated decision when you go to an astrologer, because your life depends on this,
That is true. Saket ji, आपने बहुत सारी चीजें mention की कि IVAN जो ये सारी चीजें करते हैं, but something that caught my interest is protect individuals, जो आपने भी mention किया.
We want to protect individuals because when you go to a doctor and you tell a doctor, I'm not feeling good, he runs a bunch of tests on you. It could be a blood test, urine test. He checks your blood pressure and he tells you what he's doing, right? वो आपको फिर results दिखाते हैं. He tells you this is what has happened to you and he explains very well. Why don't astrologers do that? Why is it when you go to an astrologer, they just sit in their room, they look at a chart and say, okay, your good time is coming, but you need to do this. Or your bad time will come now, you need to do this. I'm not trying to say that astrologers are trying to make money. I'm not trying to say that. But over time, astrology has become a business for many people. Right? हमने एक चीज करनी है इस show में. We're going to do a lot of myth busting. Just give it some time. We're going to start talking about what is wrong in the world of astrology and what is wrong in general. How astrologers are, taking people for a ride by playing with their emotions. Correct? So
yes, that is true.
You have to be very fearless when you go to an astrologer, and you must question, why are you saying this? What is it in my chart that shows this? Can you explain it to me? Take a look at your chart. Understand from him what the strengths and weaknesses are. Go and have a detailed discussion, because that will make you more confident about your reading, as opposed to, my friend said, let's go to this astrologer. It doesn't work that way. Go to somebody जिनके credentials हैं, जिसकी reputation है, जिनकी reviews अच्छी हैं. We are trying to bust that myth that an astrologer can solve everything and change your time, because time change nahi hota. But we can provide remedies. We can help you in so many ways, basically by protecting you and protecting your mind.
Right. So just listeners को मैं बता दूं कि हर वीक यहाँ पर क्या होता है, डॉक्टर साकेत भाटिया जो है एक नए टॉपिक के साथ हमारे साथ आते हैं. He talks about those things and he does also take phone calls. आज हमने थोड़ा format किया हुआ है शो को, so the first 10 minutes we plan not to take any phone calls, but we will open the lines, promise you guys. So Saket ji, what's the topic for today? What are we going to talk about?
First show we spoke about astrology, then we spoke about numerology. आज हम फिर से astrology पे आते हैं. We'll talk about what is a Janam Kundali. Everybody asks this question. What does my birth chart mean? What are the elements of my birth chart? What is the right way an astrologer should read a birth chart? So I want to discuss that today. So astrology jo hai, what is it? Astrology is a blueprint of your life. It is the way you, your mind, your body is programmed at birth. These three things are important. You, your mind, and your body. Why? Because aap jahan paida hue the, at that particular time, you have to ask yourself, why were you born in that particular house with those parents? Why has these things happened to you in life? Why has it not happened to me? Why won't it happen to you, Huma? Why is everybody's experience so unique and so different? There is something out there that separates us, right? There's something out there that decided you're going to face these challenges. This is your life path. So astrology is designed to do that. Astrology says everything in life is based on your karmas. Remember that. You can try many things in life. You'll be given multiple opportunities, but your success, your failures, everything is defined by your karmas of your past life. Okay. Astrology is a life path. It is your destiny. It is your strength, your weaknesses, your challenges. All of them put together in one chart is called the Janam Kundali. Astrology is that. An astrologer is someone like me who helps you plan your life so you can achieve more success, more happiness, and greater fulfillment. An astrologer's job is to guide you in your life. An astrologer's job is not your go-to person you go to every week. Okay, I'm not happy. My house didn't work out well. I'm having problems with my partner. I just lost my job. Those are not the things you should be asking the astrologer every time. In fact, you should be asking more fulfilling questions. I lost my job. Should I start a business? Is a career in engineering better for me, or should I do something in food? Those are the questions you should ask.
I absolutely love the way that you kind of guided people कि ये सवाल करने के बजाय आप ये सवाल करें, क्योंकि that makes so much sense now.
Astrology is a very accurate science. The problem with astrology is the astrologer. Dekhiye, astrology has a bunch of rules, over 1,500 rules. If the first lord is placed in this house, this will happen. If its dignity is so and so, aisa hoga. If Saturn is aspected by this planet, aisa hoga. The problem is when the astrologer starts to bend those rules. When the astrologer thinks he's read enough chart and he thinks from his experience, he can guide you differently. Then that Jyotish Vidya becomes your astrologer Vidya. Rules cannot be broken. When you see a red light, you stop, then you make a right turn, correct? When you see a red light, you completely stop. But if you decide ki it's okay to make a right turn, that's where the problem starts. That's why astrology gets broken. And that's why people start losing faith in the astrologer, because he's not following those rules correctly.
And at this point, Saket, I'd like to hand out your number. तो शो के बाद अगर लोग आपसे कांटेक्ट करना चाहें तो कहाँ कांटेक्ट करें? 408-639-5300 408-639-5300 is the number. Back to you.
Of astrology is a weighing scale. One side is expectation, the other side is acceptance. You have to learn to balance both in life. If you expect too much in life, but you're accepting less, you'll never be happy. On the other hand, agar aapne expectation hi chhod di life se, then whatever comes your way is not going to fulfill your dreams anyway. So remember, learn to dream big in life, learn to accept whatever you have, and learn to move on, forgive, and forget. That's what's going to make you happy. People always suffer because expectation far exceeds acceptance. Correct?
Right.
So, with that, I'll want to start with the Janam Kundali, the
Huh.
birth chart. What is a birth chart? How is it made? What is its significance? How is it analyzed?
Right.
Okay.
Hmm.
So, like I said, Janam Kundali kya hai? It is how you were programmed at birth.
Mm-hmm.
Your mind, your body, and your soul.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's birth chart is different. When we make your birth chart, obviously we are using softwares today, and all these softwares are using NASA-based technology to tell us where the planets were. But
Wow.
5,000 years ago, there was no NASA. There were no satellites. How did they know where the planets are? How did they know the motion of the planets? How did they know the speed of the planets? And the answer is it's a mystery. Nobody knows.
Hmm.
That knowledge was there. They knew thousands of years ago ki kya hai ye, right? So when you look at a person's birth chart, when I see a birth chart, I know that this is the first thing we can say in 30 seconds is what is your personality, what you desire in life, what you want, how successful you will be, how happy you will be. Now remember, two people cannot have the same birth chart ever because people are born at different
Not
times
the
and different.
same date of birth, same time. फिर भी नहीं birth chart same होता है.
Let's assume twins are born.
Right.
Twins are born in New York City, just 2 minutes apart. The main birth chart is the same, but every birth chart also has divisional charts. They're called 16 divisional charts. These divisional charts change. Some change every minute, some change every 10 seconds, and some change every second.
Wow.
These charts will change. As an astrologer, you cannot just rely on the main birth chart. The main birth chart jo hoti hai, it's called the Lagna chart. That is the chart which no other chart can contradict. It tells you this is the path in life, but the strengths, weaknesses are all guided by other charts. You have to look at those charts, those 16 charts, right?
So,
we have to look at yogas
are we going
and
to
charts.
discuss those 16 charts today, or we not?
We'll only discuss the main chart, the birth chart today.
Okay.
The 16 charts we will discuss some other time.
Okay.
Okay. So if callers want, they can start calling in. I have no problem.
All right.
But
So at this point, I'd like to hand out the studio number. I know बहुत लोग wait करते हैं साकेत जी से बात करने के लिए. 732-662-4701 studio का number है 732-662-4701. When you call in, आपके पास कोई भी सवाल हो, चाहे your family से related, चाहे work से related, चाहे love life से related, feel free to ask Saket ji those questions. And yes, so we have the phone lines ringing as expected. Let's take the first phone call. Hi, you're on air.
Hi, my date of birth is 19 December 1993. Time is 0:33 a.m.
I'm sorry, just go a little slow. December 19th, 1993.
93, yes.
You were born on a Sunday.
Yes.
What is your time of birth? I'm sorry, आपका time of birth, I missed that.
0:33 a.m.
Right, 0:33 a.m. Okay. And place is Mumbai, you said?
Mumbai.
Just a second. The first chart always takes a little longer. And what's your name?
Neha.
Neha, what is your question?
It's about my marriage. When will I get married?
When will you get married? So in astrology, when you go to any astrologer, they will look at your chart and say, there's windows to get married. We believe that God gave us free will, so you have the choice to choose when you'll get married. But the question is, marriage ki dasha kab start hui aapki? So I'll give you a quick tip. Like I'm trying to bust some myths on this radio station. Shadi hoti hai when there is the dasha of the seventh lord. or Rahu or the Karak, which happens to be Jupiter in your case. So jabi Jupiter and Rahu's dasha will come, your marriage window will start. Your coincidentally, your Jupiter Rahu dasha already started. It is going on, and it doesn't end till September 2024 actually. So you should be ready to get married anytime. Jupiter Rahu is a very good time for you to get married. Nothing should stop you. The planets are strong. They're not debilitated. They're sitting in good houses. So I give you between now until September next year, the window is clear open for you. It's a good time.
Thank you so much for your phone call. So 732-662-4701 is the number. Dr. Saket is available for the next 20 minutes to take your phone calls. अगर आपने अभी tune in किया है तो हम बात कर रहे हैं about birth charts today, which is very, very detrimental. बहुत सी चीजें आपने बारे में जानने के लिए हमारे लिए, right?
That's correct. So let's move on with the birth chart then.
Okay.
Have you ever seen a birth chart, Huma?
I haven't seen, and actually I don't know if मेरा सवाल valid भी है कि नहीं, क्योंकि आपने कहा कि हम इस chart के साथ born होते हैं, right? We are born with this chart. तो मुझे and you also keep saying कि वो change भी होते हैं. So when I mean, does it ever happen कि वो वैसे ही stagnant रहें या फिर there are massive changes? My understanding and my interpretation is that वो हमारी किस्मत है. Is that correct?
Absolutely correct. It is kismat. But remember, when you were born, the planets were placed in certain houses. Today, those planets are placed in different houses, right?
Huh.
So in order to see how your life is, we have to first study your chart. And then we have to overlap today's planetary positions on your chart to get a better understanding of what's going to happen. For example, the 10th house is your house of career. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
If Jupiter is transiting on your 10th house, it's a good time for you to switch your job, get a promotion, get a raise, do better in your career. If Saturn, which is the planet of stability and stress, is transiting your 4th house or your 7th house, there'll be some stress in your married life. Thoda sa problems hota hai. So those are very important. Now transits only have about 33% importance when you're reading a chart. Most of the importance should be given to dasha. Dasha mein planets wake up, like the girl that just called, right? She wants to know when she'll get married. So in her case, Rahu happens to be placed very well. Jupiter is also placed extremely well. Dasha chal rahi hai Jupiter Rahu ki. That means both these planets have woken up. Rahu is the planet of partnership, of getting married. Jupiter is the planet of husband. When both of these have come together, we know this is a chance for her to get married. Now, she has about a year to decide. If she misses that opportunity, then the next she has to wait for the next window to open.
I had this question. जब आप कह रहे थे कि opportunities हमारे पास आएगी. Before I give that question, I asked you that question. मैं number फिर से देना चाहती हूँ एक बार 732-662-4701. Dr. Saket Bhatia is in the studio for the next until 4 o'clock. लेकिन next 20 minutes तक अगर आपने कोई सवाल करना है तो 732-662-4701 is the number. So मेरा सवाल ये है साकेत जी कि ये opportunities कैसे identify करें हम और हमें कैसे पता चलेगा that this is an opportunity?
तो खुद नहीं पता चलेगा this is an opportunity. Unfortunately, astrologers are the one who can tell you what the opportunity is. You yourself, okay.
Hi, you're on air. Can you turn down the radio volume, please?
Yeah, sure. Yes, I would like to know about my son. Wedding, like.
Okay. What is his date of birth?
Date of birth, okay. December 1st, 1992.
Okay. And time of birth?
Time of birth is 7:02 p.m. Nanded, India.
Which state is that in?
Sorry?
कौन से state में है वो?
Oh, that is a Maharashtra.
Maharashtra. And what is the name again?
Saket.
No, the name of the state, a city.
Not there.
Okay, I found it.
You'll
Okay,
have
तो
to
आप
volume, sorry, आपकी आवाज बहुत echo हो रही है, हमें सवाल नहीं आ रहा है, सुनाई दे रहा है.
Okay, now it's okay?
yes, it's okay. आपका question है, when is your son going to get married? And his date of birth is December 1st, 1992. So your son is a Gemini ascendant in Vedic astrology. His ascendant lord is sitting at 5 degrees. And in order to study his marriage, we have to study Venus, which is the Karak. For women, it is Jupiter. For him, it is Venus. However, the ascendant lord happens to be Jupiter in your son's case. So हमें देखनी है dasha of Jupiter, Venus, and Rahu again. These three. I can look at the chart and tell that Jupiter, Venus are actually very well placed in your son's chart. So whatever he marries, the girl is going to be very nice. My suggestion, Jupiter Rahu Venus Dasha starts 15th November 2023 and ends September 4th, 2020, sorry, April 4th, 2024. The right time to get married or the right time to find a girl would be between November 15th and April. But Shadi ka time doesn't end till September 2024. So feel comfortable. The girl he chooses is going to be the right one for him. This is a good chart. I don't see such good charts that often. Achhi chart hai ye. And congratulations, because he will get married this year or early part of next year.
So you think from November onwards is good time, right?
Very good time.
From November onwards.
November 15th se leke very good time to get married.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you so much. I've got another phone call and I'll take them on air. Hi, you're on air.
Hi, how are you? Sitaram?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. So I don't speak Hindi. I'm from Guyana.
Don't speak Hindi. Okay, we can speak in English. That's fine.
Yeah, my name is Heman. My date of birth is 24th of October, 1970.
October 24th.
Time of birth is 11:10 in the morning.
Who's fading out? Is it 11:10
Yeah.
AM or PM?
Repeat everything one more time, thoda slow, a little slowly.
Okay, so Heman is my name.
Yeah, we have that. October 24th. Is it 1970?
24th, 2-1.
Correct. Year is
4th of October.
1970. And your time?
Time is 11:10.
AM or PM?
10 minutes after 11 in the morning.
In the morning. And your country of birth?
Guyana.
I'm sorry?
Guyana.
Okay. And is it which state is in Guyana?
Is Lenore. Sorghum.
City?
Sorghum.
Could you spell that?
SPEWARTGILLE.
Okay. So I have that. And what is your question?
My question is about marriage.
Your questions about marriage. So looking at your chart, you are also all the three charts that have come in are either run by Mercury or run by Jupiter. In your case, you happen to be a Sagittarius in Vedic astrology, and your marriage dasha will be either when there is Jupiter, or I'm sorry, Venus, Mercury, Rahu. You are running Rahu, Saturn, Saturn. This is not the best time for you to get married. Saturn itself will cause some stress and strain in your marriage. But if I were you, I would look to get a partner starting December 18, 2023 till about May 14th, 2024. If that doesn't work out, the next window will open 13th July 2024 and close January 3rd, 2025. And after that, it opens again November 15th, 2026, but then closes December 19th, 2026. So those are your 3 best times to get married or find the partner.
Sorry, look for a partner. Yeah, but that's the problem. You got both partners. It's hard to find a partner.
You have a retrograde Venus, which is sitting in the 12th house. So I would strongly recommend, call us in the office. That will cause some issues. And you have a very strong aspect of Saturn, debilitated Saturn, actually, which is aspecting your marriage house. That causes some issues. But call us either way, we can help you. Okay?
Thank you so much. And just in case, if you guys have been recommended by Dr. Saket Bhatia to call on the office, 408-639-5300 is the number. Hi, you're on air.
Name is Alpha, ALPA, and the date of birth is May 15, 1969.
May 15 or 16? 15, right?
Moon, and the place is Gujarat. Name of the city is ODE.
Let's repeat that a little slower again.
I'm sorry.
I got most of it. Your sister's from Gujarat. Which is the name of the city again?
ODE.
Okay. And date kya tha? May 15th?
May 15, 1-5.
Okay. 19?
69.
Okay. And time tha? 12.
1969.
And 12 time kya tha unka?
12 noon.
Okay. So we do have her chart open. What is your question?
The status, and it's still getting delay. I just want to know that is she gonna get this year in America?
When you say status, like living here, immigration, right?
Her green card, yeah, on her base of her son who's 21 years old. So she has applied for her green card. All the paperwork is done and it's good, but she's still waiting almost a year.
Okay.
So the reason it's really getting delayed is because your sister has a retrograde Jupiter sitting in the 3rd house. Retrograde Jupiter in a woman's chart will cause problems in luck, married life sometimes. Issues with husband. It's placed in the 8th house, 12th house in the Navamsh. To see marriage, to see asylum or to see immigration overseas, we always must see an afflicted 4th house, which means the house you're staying in, jahan aap rehte ho, usme kuch, you must not be staying there. So the 4th house in your sister's chart is afflicted. We can see that Saturn is completely aspecting that house. It is also torn between Ketu and Mars. So affliction hai. But we now have to see the 12th house, which is the house of leaving, moving away. Wo baith gaya 11th house mein, to yes, we know she is going to leave. The earliest time that window can open for your sister is 30th January 2025.
January 2025.
30th January 2025. That is the earliest window that your sister should see that she should go out, because that, I'm sorry?
And something you said about her husband?
I just said that when we see a chart with a retrograde Jupiter, or we see Jupiter retrograde in the 12th house in the Navamsh, then it's generally not considered good for the husband.
So it's holding because of her husband?
I cannot answer that here. What time lagega? It was just one question. I would love to talk, but if like Hema says on the call, if anybody has questions, feel free to call.
Thank you so much for your phone calls. 408-639-5300 इस नंबर पर आपने अगर further consult करना है, that is the number that is the number Dr. Saket Bhatia की office का 408-639-5300. फिलहाल अगर स्टूडियो में आपके पास एक क्वेश्चन है, एक सवाल है जो आप पूछना चाहते हैं डॉक्टर साकेत भाटिया से, please feel free to call. We've got about another 10 or 15 more minutes to take the phone calls. 732-662-4701, 732-662-4701.
Huma, when you see a birth chart, You must have seen sometimes, no, what a birth chart looks like.
I
It's a
have
bunch of
another caller.
squares.
Let's speak to them. Hi, you're
Okay.
on air.
Huma?
Yes, this is, and I've got Dr. Saket Bhatia also with us.
Oh, that's so great. That's what I called in for. Thank you so much. Hi, doctor.
Oh,
How are you today?
good, good. How are you?
I am good. And I want to see if you can tell some predictions or something that's coming in near future in my life.
What is your name?
Sarah, Sara.
And what is your date of birth?
9/3/69.
I'm sorry. Which month?
9/3/9, September 3rd, 69.
Okay. Time of birth?
That I can't tell. I have no idea.
If you don't know the time, we won't be able to do much here. That's the thing called birth chart rectification. We're going to have to ask you many questions, and it'll take at least bare minimum 30 minutes lag jate hain just to, and we'll come within 10-minute accuracy. If you don't know your time, we really can't answer anything today. Not possible, unfortunately.
Yeah, this is the time for my kids when they were born.
Sorry?
And I do with my children instead of me.
I would not advise that right now because we'll have to rotate your child's chart to you, and there still will be some inaccuracies. So when you are ready, if you want, you can call us offline. We can help you with your children's chart and we can do that. But right now, we won't be able to answer much.
So can she instead of her, can she get one of the child's birth chart? Is what she's asking.
No, we can't do that. It's going to take a little too long. We won't be able to do it in the time that we have allocated. Unfortunately. Okay.
So you can't tell anything about my children because I don't know when my children was born, what kind of born.
This is the question you had for yourself. You have for yourself or your children. Who do you want to ask for?
Oh, yeah, I think I called the wrong number. I'm sorry. Thank you, guys.
So let's just get on with the birth chart then, right?
All right, 732-662-4701. I do see a couple of people calling in, but they dropped out. But हम birth chart की बात कर रहे हैं और just another एक और बात बता दूं लोगों को जब फोन कर रहे हो. So make sure you have those details that Dr. Saket Bhatia is going to work with. Your date of birth and your place of birth and your time of birth. And जैसे भी इन्होंने बताया कि अगर आपके पास इनमें से कोई भी एक चीज मिसिंग होती है तो आपका बर्थ चार्ट बनाने के लिए बहुत ज्यादा टाइम लगता है. इस वजह से आपने कंसल्ट करना है आउटसाइड द शो आवर्स. पर फिलहाल 732-662-4701 is the number. Yes, Dr. Bhatia.
Call us and you say, I don't know my time, or here is my son's chart. We have to take your son's chart and we have to rotate the chart to get the mother's details. And usme, it's always a little more complicated because now we have to start looking at the divisional charts. So we'll have to open the divisional chart for the parents, then find the mother from that. And that's why it takes time. And astrology, what happens is we don't want to give a wrong answer. We don't want to give an estimate. We don't want to tell you something which is wrong because we don't want to misguide you. Correct? If you go to a doctor and he tells you your cholesterol level is fine, you can start eating whatever you want. You stop exercising, it's going to hurt you. So we don't misguide people. I said, I'm sorry, I won't be able to answer the question. I did not mean to say I can't. I just mean to say time short hai, nahi hota hai. Now, Huma, have you seen birth charts ever?
I have never seen a birth chart, to be honest.
There are two common styles of birth charts, North Indian and South Indian chart. The South Indian chart is more focused on the signs, while the North Indian chart is more focused on the house. The South Indian chart has squares and you go clockwise. The North Indian chart has rectangles or diamonds and you start going anti-clockwise. So whenever you look at a birth chart, you're going to see numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, numbers don't correspond to the house. They are corresponding to the zodiac sign. So if you look at the birth chart and right on top, if you see 8, that means Scorpio, because You always start with Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces. Scorpio is 8. So we always say, ye jo insaan hai, he's Scorpio rising, right? Each of these signs also encompasses a quality: fire, earth, air, or water. Now you can say, what does that mean? Suppose you have sun, which we understand is a fiery planet. If the sun
Right.
is sitting in Scorpio, a fiery planet is now sitting in Scorpio, which happens to be a water sign. So the sun will lose some of its strength. On the other hand, if sun happens to sit in Aries, which is a fire sign, it's going to become very strong. We see sun in Aries for old kings in India. Now, if that
Wow.
sun is impacted by a planet like Saturn or Rahu, then it makes them a very brutal and cunning king. On the other hand, if that sun sitting in Aries, by Jupiter, it king. That king is ruled by people, this population. This is very important. The rising sign is the single most important thing in a chart. With that, we can figure out your life, your destiny, your personality, your health, everything.
Wow.
If I'm looking at a chart and I see the left-hand side and right-hand side, there are two bad planets, we know you're going to have vision issues. Sun also rules the right eye. Moon rules the left eye. So if your moon has some affliction, your left eye will have affliction. Moon rules the brain. This is medical astrology. हम उसकी बात बाद में करेंगे. तो
that is so new to me. ये काफी इंटरेस्टिंग चीजें आप बता रहे हैं. और फिर से एक बार लोगों को अगर अभी ट्यून इन किया, ये बता दूं that Dr. Saket Bhatia is a member of the IVAN and 25 साल का एक्सपीरियंस है एस्ट्रोलॉजी और न्यूमरोलॉजी में. और आप स्टूडियो में भी इन्हें कांटेक्ट कर सकते हैं, बट अल्टरनेटिवली अगर ज्यादा डिटेल रीडिंग चाहिए आपको तो डेफिनेटली कांटेक्ट हिज ऑफिस एट 408-639-5300 आफ्टर 4 o'clock आफ्टर द शो. और फिलहाल अगर आप मेरे पास आई थिंक कितना टाइम है, हम 2-3 कॉलर्स तो ले ही सकते हैं, राइट?
Easily take that many.
732-662-4701 is the studio number. 732-662-4701. Make sure you've got your date of birth, your time of birth, and your place of birth, ताकि आपकी जो चार्ट है वो अच्छी तरह से बना पुल अप करेंगे डॉक्टर भाटिया और उसे रीड करेंगे. और हम आज बात कर रहे हैं about birth charts in detail.
So I'm born in December, so I'm a Sagittarius, but in Vedic astrology I'm a Scorpio. हमारा जो ascendant होता है, that changes every 2 hours in Vedic astrology. So if I were born,
why is that so?
Because the earth is rotating. The earth takes 24 hours to have one rotation. And those 24 hours mein the earth spins through all the zodiac signs. The zodiac sign which is rising on the east, jab aap paida hue the, east rising sign is the one that is your ascendant. The degree of that is your ascendant degree. So when I was born, I was a Scorpio. My sun was just about to rise because I was born very early in the morning. Sunrise ho raha tha us time pe. So the sun is in Scorpio in a very nice position. When I was born, Jupiter and moon were sitting, moon was sort of, niche aa gaya tha. So it was in my 5th house. When you start understanding how well it plays out, you'll see how impactful this is. Abhi jinhone bhi hame call kiya tha, one of the people who called had sun sitting in their 10th house. That means when they were born, dopair ka time tha and sun was right overhead. When we look at a chart of a person with sun overhead and unki very good dignity, we say he will start his own business. He has to be an entrepreneur. Now, how successful he will be will depend upon kis ghar mein sun baitha hai. For example, if sun is sitting in the sign of Aries, we know it's like a bull. He's going to go ahead in life, full frontal. Agar sun Virgo mein baitha hai, the business will be wide. Could be in construction, could be something to do with the wide building or big property. If it is on the other hand sitting in Cancer, it's got to be with small real estate. So those are things we can predict based on the planetary positions. Now,
So
ये
is
तो
it
था,
because time इसीलिए हम पूछते हैं कि अगर आप 12 बजे हैं तो like you know rising sun के हिसाब से किस्मत rising होती है, फिर अगर शाम हो तो फिर उस हिसाब से is it you know kind of correlated?
अगर शाम होती है, the sun will be setting and the moon will be up there. So you will be
हाँ
more, moon will be more driving you. जिनका moon drive करता है, their mind happens to be very stable. Their
हम्म
life happens to be more well structured. These people tend to be more, what is the right word? Not famous, but more popular in societies and their groups. They're well known, well recognition.
is it also
Unfortunately,
they're the ones that are inclined toward the creative arts or something like that?
for creative arts, we always have to focus on planets like Venus. Venus
हम्म
is creative arts. The third house is creativity. The third house is courage. अगर आपका third house का lord, let's say, just sits in the 12th house, no matter what you do, you're just going to waste your talents. You're going to waste your energy, or you're going to let it go away. But if
हम्म
that third lord is sitting in the first house, or first house, third house का exchange हो जाता है lords का, then we know for a fact you will follow your dream, you will follow your desire, you'll follow your passion, and you'll go into something to do with the Venetian fields. It could be modeling, it could be acting, could be real estate, could be anything to do with luxury items. Again, the success will, however, be driven by the 10th house. So बहुत ही ज़्यादा correlations होते हैं इसमें.
हाँ
You can't read one thing and say this is it. When a caller is calling in and asking questions, believe me, we are doing multiple analysis in our head based on experience,
हम्म
knowledge, and we're looking and trying to give the closest answer we can without
right.
making error,
Yeah.
right?
So yes, और अगर you know इस वजह से हम बार बार आपको याद दिलाते रहते हैं कि जब आप फोन करें please keep all these details handy so that accurate आपको reading मिले आपके बारे में या किसी loved one के बारे में. I think we can take a couple of more phone calls. अगर सवाल हैं आपके पास 7326624701 732-662-4701. बर्थ चार्ट्स की बात करें आज हम डॉक्टर साकेत भाटिया के साथ, a member of IVAN with over 25 years of experience in astrology and numerology. 3 बजे से 4 बजे तक डॉक्टर भाटिया हमारे साथ होते हैं हर वेंसडे को और हमें एनलाइटन करते हैं, हमें सारी नॉलेज देते हैं, you know, which is quite interesting also, very, very interesting, all these studies and all these things that he says about astrology and numerology.
So we've covered the signs, right? The Aries, Taurus, Gemini. Now we'll talk about houses. The 12 signs are split in 12 different houses. Every house controls a certain aspect of our life. So आज हमें calls आए थे marriage पे, right?
Mm-hmm.
That has to do with 7th house. 7th house
Mm-hmm.
is not just marriage. It is also business. It is also because marriage is partnership in general, right? Two people have to lead
Right.
something together.
Uh-huh.
If you want to talk about kids, we have to focus on the 5th house. अगर आप कहते हो कि I want to know if I'm going to go higher education, PhD, master's degree, then we study the 11th house.
Shall we take it?
Sure.
Hi, you're on air.
Hi, how are you today?
I'm good. Thank you
I'm-
for asking.
I have a question about one of my children. So
Okay.
he was born on 20th December 2004.
December 20th,
Is-
just a
Yes.
second, 20th December 2004.
Yes, the time of birth is 11:08 a.m.
He was born on a Monday.
Yes, he was born on a Monday, yes.
And what is the place of birth?
New York. It's Kings Park, Midtown, New York.
What is your question?
My question is, what does the future hold for him? Like, you know, like what can I guide him or like what is it like? Are there any
You're asking a very, very difficult question when you say, what is future? Future for what? Marriage, career, health?
career, yes, I would say career.
It's very hard for me in a few minutes to tell you what career he needs to go into. वो तो बोलना बहुत मुश्किल है because we have to analyze it from the ascendant, the sun and moon. Yes, go on.
Like कैसा रहेगा? चलिए like और precise कर देते हैं. Like अगर वो पढ़ाई कर रहा है, ठीक से पढ़ाई है क्या है? कैसे चल रहा है?
So he happens to be a Aquarius in astrology. His ascendant lord sits in the 6th house and it's retrograde. जब भी ascendant lord retrograde होता है, it always causes some delays, some sort of issues. Jupiter, which is the most beneficial planet in your sun's chart, very powerful planet, is not in a good position in the 8th house. But if I look at the Navamsh, he's rock solid. He happens to be exalted. So luck-wise, your son is born with a very strong luck. Let me reiterate. He is born with a very strong Gach Kesari Yoga. Moon as lord of money ki shortage to hai nahi. The three most impactful planets, like I was telling Huma, are Mercury, Venus, and Mars. Sun is sitting in the 11th. What career does he want to do?
Law, he wants to pursue law mostly.
He wants to pursue law. So Mercury is the planet of intelligence. Venus is the planet of like luxuries and Venetian things. Mars is action. That house is ruled by Mars. So, and Mars itself is sitting in Cancer. Mars doesn't do very well in Cancer. So engineering is definitely out of the question for your son. If he wants to pursue law, he can, but a better career for him would be something to do with Venetian opposed to law. Even if he does do law, corporate law is better.
Corporate law.
Corporate law would be better for your son as opposed to immigration or criminal or that divorce attorney. Corporate is what he should focus on because that is the only law that he would do well in according to his chart.
Okay. What did you say he should focus on? Like not law, what else did you say? I'm sorry, I missed that.
Something to do with Venetian things. So it's more like buying property or real estate or something along those lines is what is written in his chart.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much.
Sure.
Thank you so much for your phone call. And I think हमारे पास 8 minute और बाकी हैं, so we should start wrapping up. Dr. Saket, and alternatively आप Dr. Saket Bhatia की ऑफिस पर भी फोन कर सकते हो. The number for that is 408-639-5300. That's 408-639-5300.
We were talking about birth charts, right? We were talking about houses. I was telling you that you have to go anti-clockwise in Vedic astrology birth chart. And that tells you each house mein kya hai, right? Remember? Partnership, business, career. Now we'll talk, since time short, I'm going to keep talking till we have about 3 or 4 minutes left. We'll talk about nakshatras. आपने तो सुना होगा कि नक्षत्र होते हैं. But what is a nakshatra?
Right.
So the moon goes around the earth. It has an orbit. That orbit is 360 degrees. We divide those 360 degrees, right, into 27 parts. Each part is 13 degrees and 20 minutes. It is called a nakshatra. Why is nakshatra important? Agar aapki kundali mein planets are well placed in the chart, but in the nakshatra it is not well placed, you will have some issues in your personality. Nakshatras determine personality. You must have some friends who you joke about, they're a little off. They're rude. That is because nakshatra determines personality. Not anger, not frustration, personality. Life mein jo dasha hoti hai, like the lady that just called about her son's coincidentally running a Venus dasha right now. That's why I said he should do Venetian things. He's going to do very well. And the Venetian phase ends in 2033. And he's going to be about 29 years by then. Then his sun dasha starts. So if he were to do a career in real estate, he would do very well. Now, coming back to that, agar nakshatra planet ka strong ho, then the person becomes very strong. Mind becomes strong. Agar nakshatra galat ho, then everything can go haywire. Dasha is also dependent on nakshatra. Depending on when you were born and where your moon was placed, we base the dashas on that. Okay. Now we're going to switch to planets. We have 12 houses. We have 12 signs. We have 9 planets. So planets have to be scattered on your birth chart, right? We have Sun, Jupiter, Mars, Moon, Rahu, Ketu, Saturn, correct? These have to be placed on the chart. Now, there are some newer planets like Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. जो पिछले ज़माने में we could not see with the naked eye. So they are
Right.
not included because we believe they don't put any, they don't change your chart, but they do. Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto play very important roles in your chart. Now, planets like Sun, Jupiter, and Mars, ये masculine planets होते हैं. Planets like Venus and Moon are feminine planets. Planets like Mercury and Saturn go either way. They're gender neutral. तो आप बोलोगे, what is the significance of this? Well, if all your male planets are placed in male signs or fire signs, they become strong. If the female planets are placed in watery sign or feminine houses, they become strong from a feminine point of view. Sometimes you have men that just can't stand up and take action in life. Sometimes you have women who can stand up, fight for themselves, contrary to what society expects of them, right? Why? Because their feminine planets are placed more in the houses of masculine or fiery signs. So, इससे हम आपकी personality निकाल लेते हैं. We come to know if your planet is well placed or poorly placed. Now, planets can also be placed in certain signs that belong to them, that belong to their friends, or exaltation. For example, after the show today evening, you're probably going to go back home, right? When you go back home, you're comfortable. तो आपके जैसे ही जब planets अपने ही घर में रहते हैं, for example, Jupiter staying in Sagittarius or Pisces, they're very comfortable. They give their full strength out. They're able to give the results better. Now, if I were to take you and put you in a 5-star hotel in New York, you're going to be very happy
More
for the first few days. For the first few days, for the first few weeks, for the first few months, but after some time you'll start not being so happy, missing home. Exactly. This is called exaltation. When a planet is sitting in a sign where it is extremely happy, able to give the best results. Now, काफी लोग कहते हैं कि maybe my planet should all be exalted. No, that's not necessarily true. If Jupiter is lord of the 6th house and the 9th house, Jupiter will now control your liver. And if he's exalted, he could give you liver problems. We see this in people that are alcoholics all the time. They have problem with liver because of Jupiter, which is exalted. Saturn जब exalted हो जाता है, he can give you all kinds of diseases. Cancer, he can give you arthritis, he can give you Down syndrome in kids. So the right way to study a chart, first you have to know कि वो जो planet है, उसकी characteristics क्या है. Then you take those characteristics and tie it with the houses he owns. And he will exhibit those characteristics in the house he's sitting. It's complicated, but that is how it is done. You start with the characteristics of
just
the
3 more
planet.
minutes. 3 more minutes. For us.
I know. Yeah. So we are going to talk about this later, but I want to talk about just closing thought, since we're going to end the show now. Not all of us, life mein, not everybody is born with a silver spoon. 99.9% people are not born with a silver spoon, and we are all self-made people. Right? We have to realize that life is short hai. It's very short, but you have to learn to enjoy yourself. How will you do that? You must have fun, stay healthy, and be in the company of people who value you as an individual.
Right. Very important.
You are a very unique person who has a strong birth chart. This birth chart has shaped you. It has made you who you are. In life, learn to follow your passion, follow your heart, follow your mind. If you don't, you're wasting your life. It is always never too late to change. Right? There are many people who are IT individuals that become RJs. Why do they do it? Because they're passionate about it. If you don't know what you're passionate about, go find it. Go talk to somebody. Astrology can tell you what is right for you. Success is something people can't handle. Some people do well with it. Some people don't do well with it. But you can be famous and you can be successful in your own circle, in your family, in your friend circle. Again, learn to be positive and optimistic in life. I don't care how old you are, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, or 80. Find your true calling now and start making changes in your life today so you can have a more fulfilling and a more happy future tomorrow. That's what I wanted to say.
That's such a lovely thought and very, very inspiring and motivating. And on that thought, दिल तो नहीं चाह रहा लेकिन डॉक्टर साकेत भाटिया को आज अलविदा कहना पड़ेगा और जस्ट इन केस आई नो वी आर ऑलरेडी हिट 4 o'clock बट अगर आपने कांटेक्ट करना है उन्हें ऑफिस पर उनकी सो 408-639-5300 इज द नंबर 408-639-5300. Thank you so much, Dr. Bhatia, for your time.
Thank you. Have a good one. Bye-bye.
Thank you.